9 to 11 Season 8 final repeats a divisive trick. That season, 9 needs to retire. 9 to 11 Season 8 has aired some of the most infamous moments in the procedural's history. But the penultimate episode's cliffhanger highlights a tiresome pattern. 9 to 11 Season 8 has continued the series' norm of dramatic medical emergencies, emotional narratives, and surprising character development. But some plots were more fleshed out than others. The main cast of characters, now headed by Angela Bassett's Athena Grant following the death of Peter Cross's Bobby Nash, is slated to respond to one of 9 to 11's hallmark intense disasters in the Season 8 finale. But the members of LAFD Station 118 all have unfinished business. The main firefighters, even Buck Buckley, Oliver Stark, Henrietta Hen Wilson, Aisha Hines, Howard Shimney-Han, Kenneth Choi, Eddie Diaz, Ryan Guzman, and Ravi Panikar, Anirudh Pashurity, each have ongoing storylines that the 9 to 11 Season 8 finale will hopefully resolve. Yet how the first responder drama solves the ensemble cast problems is another concern entirely. Season 8 included some of 9 to 11's most gruesome injuries, not to mention its first main character death. Yet before the aftermath had even cleared, 9 to 11 continued introducing additional conflicts for the 118 that preemptively set up the season finale's main objectives. The most obvious hints about the 9 to 11 Season 8 finale's plot, however, lie in the penultimate episode itself. 9 to 11 Season 8, Episode 17 established the most pressing issues for each character, ranging from Athena and Chimmy's strained relationship to Eddie's potential return. Instead of resolving any of its storylines, however, 9 to 11 Season 8, Episode 17 sets up the season finale with a cliffhanger ending. After Athena responds to a nuisance call, a sudden explosion threatens to bring down a nearby building. The severity of the emergency is immediately apparent, as Athena urgently tells dispatch to send everybody. 9 to 11 Season 8's finale will directly follow the events of Don't Drink the Water, creating one continuous storyline across the 2 episodes. Every plot that was integral to 9 to 11 Season 8, Episode 17 will presumably return in the finale. Athena and Chimney will have to confront their tension head-on. Eddie will have to choose between moving home or pursuing the job in El Paso, and Hen will have to decide once and for all whether she'll accept the captaincy. Naturally, the building collapse will also take up the bulk of 9 to 11 Season 8's finale. The season finale is far from 9 to 11 Season 8's first multi-episode timeline, however. The opening of 9 to 11 Season 8 included an exhaustive 3-episode storyline following Athena's journey, navigating a plane's emergency landing. Similarly, the mid-season premiere, Sob Stories, introduced a 2-part story for Maddie Han, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Abigail Spencer's 9 to 11 character, Amber Brayburn. While 9 to 11 Season 8, Episode 9 extensively explored Maddie's trauma and an anonymous serial killer, the cliffhanger ending of Maddie being abducted by Brayburn set up Voices as a direct continuation. Unsurprisingly, 9 to 11 Season 8, Episode 10 focused on Brayburn's evil plan and Maddie's escape. More recently, 9 to 11 Season 8, Episodes 14 and 15 were connected under the umbrella name of 9 to 11, Contagion. The first episode in the 2-part arc introduced 9 to 11's evil scientist, Maura Blake, Bridget Regan, and laid the groundwork for the CHF superstrain to loom overhead as an omnipresent threat after the LAFD is accidentally quarantined in the research lab. The narrative of Sick Day continues into Lab Rats seamlessly, as Buck and Athena apprehend Moira, and deliver the antidote to save Chimney's life. After the smoke seems to clear, Bobby's death in 9-to-1-1 acts as the two-part event's dramatic twist ending. While each of the aforementioned two-part events were interesting by themselves, the seemingly constant cliffhangers and continuations make 9-to-1-1 Season 8 feel disjointed when considered as one cohesive, linear storyline. Rather than the typical structure of standalone narratives building an overarching story for the season, 9-to-1-1 Season 8 segmented itself with multi-episode arcs. Using the two-part structure once or twice could have been effective without sacrificing the overall plot, but the 9-to-1-1 Season 8 finale will be the fourth multi-episode event in 18 episodes. Statistically, that means 9-to-1-1 Season 8 employed a cliffhanger about once every 4 episodes. Breaking the season up into distinct segments overwhelmingly contributed to the biggest concern of 9-to-1-1's showrunner, Tim Minear, raising the stakes. Whereas near-death experiences in 9-to-1-1 were previously few and far between, 9-to-1-1 Season 8 overloaded the characters with personal crises. If the procedural had stuck to its formula and balanced character development with wacky medical emergencies, 9-to-1-1 could have retained its ability to use near misses and extreme disasters as rare but impactful tools. Instead, 9-to-1-1 Season 8 felt like a never-ending stream of drama and danger. Intriguing in small doses, but draining when overutilized. Fortunately, 9-to-1-1 still has time to tweak its episodic structures. 9-to-1-1 Season 9 has already been confirmed by ABC, meaning the long-running procedural will have another full batch of episodes to prove its merit. If the first responder drama wants a chance at Season 10, though, 9-to-1-1 will have to stop relying on multi-episode events and excessive cliffhangers. The series must once again prioritize its characters over its disasters. High-octane calls are entertaining, but they're supplemental to the true selling point of 9-to-1-1, the 118. 9-to-1-1's found family aspect has been pivotal to many character arcs and overarching narratives, like Eddie moving to Texas and Maddie's second pregnancy. Yet the found family at the center of it all has rarely been acknowledged in recent seasons of 9-to-1-1. Rather than jam-packing the season with as many twists and turns as possible, 9-to-1-1 Season 9 should consider a more nuanced approach and start treating its cast as a true ensemble again. By retiring the two-episode structure that forces most of the cast to the sidelines, 9-to-1-1 Season 9 can include everyone in the episodic narratives. Additionally, ABC can revisit some of the best 9-to-1-1 episodes that had unique plots, such as Ocean's 9-to-1-1, Jinx, and Treasure Hunt. 9-to-1-1 can return to fun filler episodes or even experiment with new structures entirely, like the limited scope of a bottle episode, one that typically takes place in a single setting with limited distractions. Likewise, 9-to-1-1 can return to staples like character backstories, especially considering Maddie and Ravi are both obvious candidates for a Begins episode. Regardless of how, 9-to-1-1 needs to replace its two-part episode structure if it wants to avoid burning out prematurely. It was supposed to be a finale, the culmination, the grand payoff, the final breath of a long and winding tale. And yet, as the credits rolled and the screen dimmed, a familiar groan echoed through living rooms across the country. Not again. They did that again. Yes, finale. Whether it be a reality show, drama series, or prestige streaming epic. Take your pick. Leaned on the same divisive trick that's plagued too many endings in recent years. The ambiguous, circular, or outright manipulative twist that leaves viewers dangling instead of satisfied. It's the creative equivalent of a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat and then stuffing it back in, mumbling, "You figure it out." Let's call it what it is, the loop trick. It begins innocently enough. Characters we've grown to know and love stand on the edge of transformation. Tensions rise, secrets unravel. And just when it's time to see the consequences, boom, cut to black. Jump to a time skip. Or worse, flash back to the beginning as if nothing ever happened.